Is it too late for me to get my ex back? Did I wait too long and blow my opportunity? Let's talk about that tonight. I'm Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life and write a better love story. And would ask, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. And when you do, tick the bell icon. That way you'll be notified as I upload new content. Also, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up if you like the video and share it with someone if you know someone going through a breakup. Maybe somebody can benefit from my content. But let's get into the content. Speaking of which, this is a question posed to me. How long is too long? Is it too late for me to get back together with my ex? And first of all, there's a number of factors involved. The dynamics of the relationship plays a big part in this. How compatible you two were, how long you were together, how long you've been apart, what caused the breakup, what was the overwhelming factor, and we'll touch on some of those. But first you need to understand, not all relationships can be repaired. Not all the time do exes come back. And sometimes getting the ex back is the easy part. Keeping them is the difficult part, as I've talked about in some of my other videos. Because you've got to make some changes to yourself, and this is not natural to a lot of people, unfortunately. But anyway, is it too late? Have I waited too long? What is too long? Is a year too long? Is 2 years too long? I've seen relationships come together after long periods of time like this, but generally both parties have gone and maybe had another relationship or two in between and realized that maybe they did belong together. But it's not easy to find someone. That's not an easy thing to do. Look at how hard you had to work to get with this person. You don't just find these people off the road, and chances are your ex hasn't just gone out and found somebody either at this point. Now, I said there's dynamics of the relationship have a lot to do with it, and maybe why it ended. Well, how did the relationship end? This is a question. Was it an abusive relationship, be that physically or emotionally? Was your ex or were you abusive in a relationship? If that's the case, then there's probably no sense in even trying to put that relationship back together, because that's not something that you need in your life, or it's not something that they need in their life. And if that's the case, chances are that's not going to make it, and probably shouldn't. But what about some other things? Was your ex deceitful? Were you deceitful? Did one of you cheat? Understand that infidelity, cheating, is very, very difficult for people to get over. And if that's the situation, in order for this relationship to be rescued, if there is a possibility, I would recommend counseling, professional counseling, for a situation like that. Because, again, infidelity, cheating, the betrayal that's felt by one or both parties in a situation like that can be devastating, and it can be almost insurmountable to get over. So if that's the situation that the relationship broke up under, again, it may be too late. It may have been too late by the time it was already over. Is your ex in another relationship, be that married, engaged, or maybe just in a committed relationship? If that's the situation, my advice is to stay away. Don't interfere with another relationship. I say this in the forum all the time. I get people saying, hey, my ex is in another relationship, and how do I get him back? And usually it's guys that I say this to, and I'm like, don't be that guy. Well, don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. If your ex is with somebody else and they seem to be doing okay, don't try to take them away. There's a little piece of advice that I give people quite often, and it's just a little catchphrase that I like to live by. If they will cheat with you, they will probably cheat on you. So if you can pry them away from somebody else by getting them to come with you, they might not be that dedicated to you when the time comes either. So you have to think about that. Another possibility that it might be too late is, did you beg and plead? Did you beg and plead and plead and beg? And some of you know what I'm talking about. If you've begged and pleaded and gone too far down that road, and if you're doing that now, stop. Really stop. Right now, stop. Go into no contact immediately. Begging and pleading is very unattractive. And I know we see that in the movies sometimes, when the guy comes crawling to the girl, or the girl comes crawling back to the guy, and it's happily ever after. And then the movie ends. Show me what that couple's like in a week or two from now. That's what I'd like to see at the end of one of those movies. Let's go 2 weeks down the road and see where they are, see if they're still together. So if you've begged and pleaded, you might have gone too far and overboard with that, and you could very possibly have blown that opportunity. So if that's where you are right now, back away. Okay, back away, stop immediately, and go into no contact. Now, some other factors involved here, so far as a time frame. The no contact recommendation is 30 days at least. Uh, you know, but I have seen relationships come back together after a year. That said, if you are the one wanting the relationship to get back together, if you are the one that's pushing for the relationship to get back together, if you are the one that is waiting for your ex to come back, you need to look at that. Don't wait. Do not wait. Don't put all your eggs in that basket that relationship is going to come back together and that everything is going to be wonderful, because it might not. And you have to look at some other possibilities. You have to be prepared up here for that possibility. But so far as time is actually your friend here. The longer your ex goes without hearing from you, the longer your ex goes without you being in their life, without those nice things that you used to do, the good parts of the relationship, and the longer they're out there not finding anybody else, the more attractive you look. Now, again, we don't want to trick our exes into coming back. We want it to be a natural, organic thing. I want my ex to come back because we love each other and because we really have a future. We have a love story we want to tell. That's the best reason for it to come back. I don't want to trick somebody back into my life only to find out a week later that they hate me again. And that should be your thoughts too. So anyway, is it too late? No, it's not too late. Sometimes it's not a good idea to try and put things back together, but it's not too late. The longer you get down the road. Now, again, if you're a year outside of this and you're just waiting around for your ex, it's time to move on and get over it. Could they still come back? Yeah, they could still come back. I've seen it happen before. I've seen it happen after multiple years. But you've got to get beyond where you are to begin with. You've got to get over that. You can't just sit and wait, because if it doesn't happen, you're going to be awful disappointed. Anyway, folks, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight. Something you want to hear about, leave a comment down below. Please leave a comment down below. Read the details section down below. I've got a couple of free ebooks in there and a few other little tidbits that you can take care of. My personal email address is down there. I love to hear your relationship questions. If you got a question, please. I don't do coaching, but I love to respond. I love to answer those questions. I get a lot of questions in the email, and I love to hear what everybody else is going through. And I love to, it helps me, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy being able to give back a little bit. My personal email is down there in the description. If you don't feel like posting a public comment for everybody else to read, send it to me. I generally try to get all my comments and emails responded to within 24 hours. So that's what I got for you tonight, folks. You know what? Again, Jim Miller, helping you find and keep the love of your life and write a better love story. And that's what I want for everybody, is just to write the best love story that you possibly can. So with that, folks, good night. Talk to you soon. Bye.